Good morning to the Amazon trade, MMT. It's free market. It's 518 right now as we speak. Here's the good thing about it. Amazon gap open up in price. That's what this is about. And how do we get our bets and entries? How do we scale in this trade in the high gap open up delta price ranges right here? So we've got orders out there right now, 361.8, 360.24, and 162 or 362.3 for that limit in short order to get hit. Now, granted, from 359.50, it's already traded down once in the level 2 bid and ask right in here. See, that's between the bars. The big boys are trading Amazon right now, up 26.34 handles here in pre-market, 19 minutes into pre-market. That's where we're at with the price. And one of the things that we noted last night in our live video trade is that the stock hit 464 and then dropped $20, $19 or whatever and some change, somewhere in that neighborhood. So it did do it last night. There's been a lot of stocks all week that have been doing it. It's a good time for people that are in Amazon, in my view, to take profits. It is right now 5:19 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, date 10/25/2013. So what are we going to do now? We're going to go through the price discovery. That's what we're going to do. And that's going to be the bid and the ask. And so we have some limit orders out there. They're called limit orders to sell short on the high end of this range up here. 362.3, 160.25, but he's been having a real problem at 359.5 pennies. So the bid is 24 by 4. We'll update MMTs a little bit later about its pre-market. It's live right now. It's all about the price discovery. That's what we're sharing together. And then which way to take it and what would be the drop. If it dropped $20 last night, are people going to fall in love with its operating margins again? Wall Street has given this stock a break time and time and time again. Right now, you can see that 359.5 is holding, 358.7 is a bid. See how the ask is dropping? Look, for the new MMTs, this is that price discovery reversal. So, in a high frequency algorithmic model, we're going to keep those orders out here up above the market until we're convinced that this thing is going to trade down to, on the short, it's going to trade down to, last night, it was down there at 344 area. That was 2 1/8 delta. That's about $13.91 below the market right now. Okay? That's where this was trading last night on that first public reaction or their views of the name. Once again, they came in higher on the revenue side, but the operating margins are still there too now, so you got to look at those. Anyway, that's a different subject, but last night we were trading at 344.75. We could trade down 1 3/4 deltas minus $16. Now, on that opening bell, if it goes up to the higher end of the delta, it would have to collapse in price. The opening bell will be 1 hour from now and 8 minutes. 5:22 a.m. 10/25/213. So today's date and the year. Here it is. Here is the Amazon, and what are the views going to be? Okay, and is this thing going to get bid up to these other higher price levels for our entries? 5:23 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, pre-market opening bell. Here at 5:25, we can see these bids dropping down to 358.2 right now. As I said, that number 399.50 or 359.50 seems to be a wall of resistance in pre-market. Time 5:25 a.m. MMTs, we have a 5-minute chart right now on Amazon, and we can clearly see that 359.50 right here. This is these tops. This is where that last part of that move has gone down in pre-market hours. Right now, 5:44 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Here now live with you. Price discovery. It's a reversal. It's a sell gap. It's everything. So let's be clear about that. One of the other things that we're going to talk about is when we get into the actual trading day on the opening bell. Where are the buyers? How strong are they going to be? Well, we'll know, and we'll come back up and we'll test in these areas. And we've had limit orders out here since pre-market, since the beginning of the first minute. 361.8, 360.24, and 362.3. All limits to sell short. However, that delta reversal as of 5:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's 45 minutes into the pre-market, is that the price has come off of these highs on Amazon from the opening bell pre-market gap price. So the price ranges are being set for the tone of the day, and we'll update you later. We're going to read off some of the upgrades. Amazon.com, target to 400 from $335. That's an upgrade by, let's just call it good old Deutsche Bank. That's how we say it. There's that upgrade, and there is a couple more upgrades. Okay, because of the cash revenues that came in on the upper end of the ranges versus operating cost is, how are people really going to look into this report on Amazon? We will determine that here in the price discoveries and where that reversal short is still in play. However, it's had a slew of upgrades. Wind Resort downgraded to a hold, and that stock had been on a rip. We're going to start covering that one outside of the Amazon. We have other things that we have to look at. Netflix is gapping down this morning, so that's 92 pennies. Here is the actual price for inch, 355.5 by 355.7. They have dropped, and that's why that short is in play from the 359 area, 359.50 right here. So let's make sure that we have everything where everyone can see it, because this particular chart here is 5 minutes in price in the pre-market hours. And how does pre-market actually trade within a directional price movement that you can use to make money on? And where does it trade from the pre-market pullback to support and then run on the opening bell, which will be a little time, about 52 minutes or so to the opening bell or something like that. Since we've been really watching these price levels down to 356, you can clearly see that. You can see the bid and ask over here. We'll update later. MMT pre-market. How do I trade that? Most important is now we're going to go look at the put options. It is right now pre-market 5:59 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we can see that he is popping this back up to 4.5 delta at 458.76 pennies right here. and this is a 5-minute chart. So what we're just watching is where that bid and that ask, right where my pointer is, it's 358 now, 40 pennies, 34 pennies on the ask. Huh? Okay. That's the latest update. So from that channel down in price in pre-market, you can clearly see that we're coming up just quite nicely to 358 50. That still is a $4.50. That's 76. So it's got to go 76 cents higher. So 358.80. There, we're coming back up to that 359.50 area that we talked about. Our limit orders are still out at 360 and a quarter. That could always change. Obviously, right at the turn of the hour, which would be 9 o'clock Eastern and 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, is that's where you got your price pop. Right off of that lower bottom support level on a 369. Look at that. So right now, you're going to come right back up to that 4 and 5/8, which is 359.50, where it was earlier this morning in pre-market, 6:01 a.m. What a price pop coming right on top of the hourly bell of pre-market. How to trade pre-market, how to trade earnings, how to get that bottom up, how to get that top reversal, how this will trade throughout the day in the Delta tree. We'll update you 6:01 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, featuring which one? Amazon.com earnings. Gap open up. We also have a Stifle raises their Amazon target to 400 from 335 now. Let's not forget that. That's Stifle. We're going to be trading the 365 put as something we're going to look at. And we're going to be looking at the 360 put. And we're going to take the Amazon trade. Here's that 5-minute chart. We've come back up to that same level where it had a problem. And we can clearly see that right now. So what we want to be mindful of is that the price discovery in the Delta tree has clearly shown how we got that lower support level on a 3, a 6, a 9, now a 12, and we're right there. We're right back where this thing started from 359 down to these lows here. And the low was 355.01 here. So we can clearly see from that price level to here in 12 minutes into pre-market at 6:09 a.m. We're going to be trading the 360 put today. We're going to be looking at that one, no doubt about it. Here we go with the 365. You can see there's a bid right here, 35.60, and an ask of 38.55. There just hadn't been any open interest on this monthly regular 365 put that was deep in the money prior to the opening gap of the earnings on Amazon. They're going to mark these down when we hit a reversal. We're going to be looking at the 365 put on the out opening bell, and not only that, MMT at 6:10 a.m. And there's the 360. That was a close. They actually had an open interest there. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put bids out based on that high end of that gap, and we can clearly see that the 360s, I'm going to mark them down ahead of time before the fact. But we're going to have to break up here in this Delta tree. See, our limit orders 362.3, 361.8, and 362.3. So here we go, right here. And that's based on Amazon on the opening bell, has to go up to the higher delta, hit that, and then have an immediate reversal. We will price out the $360 put and naturally the 365. All right, here we are on that opening bell, and we already did our pre-market trades and squared those off. So we made some money on those. Now we're going to look and see how far down it sells here on this 1 minute. It just collapsed right on that opening bell, meaning it did not go back up. So we're not going to get hit on any of these orders up here. So we'll just delete those for buying power purposes. What we'll have to do now is look at putting the short sells out back in that 359 area on this 2 minute opening bell print. Here we are on that opening bell print, 1060 down there. I'm going to go ahead based on where Amazon hit 360 on the high. It's at 352.78. It's bouncing $2 off of that bottom. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these puts down here right now in case we break higher. I'm going to put those bids out there at 10.7. And the volume size will start with 3. And we'll keep those bids out there in the marketplace. Okay? So there we go. Here we are back to that Amazon earnings trade from pre-market to the market being open almost 1 hour in play. This is a 15-minute chart on the market maker platform. And you can clearly see that Amazon made a super high over here and we got short up there. Our short was 10 minutes off of that. Our 10 points less than that high was 368.80. What we did over there under executions is that yes, we did get short up in that neighborhood and we bought to cover at certain prices as well throughout the morning. So we have another round of limit orders to trade and they're out here at 367.4 and 369 in our application. I will show everyone here that the P&L on those orders weren't too bad. They were light volume, $1,000, 251, 798 on shorting that gap. But you had to get the gap at the highs. And you know, throughout the whole pre-market session, throughout the hourly opening bell, is that we got that high put up here, and we have that reversal on this 5-minute chart. And we can clearly see that we're going to have to change some of our other orders because we're going to want to get hit at different prices. That's what we're going to want to do. So we will get back with you on this trade. Here we are, everybody. I'm going to conclude that it's 8:16 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We started working with Amazon in pre-market. We traded these put options, the 365s, and we made money across the board. We also had the 360 puts. We also had the equity short. We're right back to pre-market levels at 359. You can clearly see where that top reversal was here. And I'm going to conclude it, and we're going to get other orders now that we've taken the first session of the day up here at the highs. Okay, and we were in at 368.30, 10 pennies off of the high there on a few hundred shares on that reversal. So once again, from pre-market to the opening bell to a 2-hour tape and the conclusion of the price action from pre-market to 368 and back down here at 8:17 a.m. 10/25/2013, and it's been our pleasure on showing you how to get net short the gap on an earnings play and walk away using the put side and shorting the equity as well.